This is very important. Monitor how you feel. Do you have fever? Do you think your heart is racing? Do you have pain? Do you have chest pain? All those are signs that will tell you whether or not you are Welcome to Dayspring Life and Health channel. Today we're going to talk about 5 things to do when you have tested positive and you are in isolation. The first one is to have at least 7 hours of sleep each day while you are in isolation. 7 to 8 hours of sleep, that might do it, and it will boost your immune system. There's research out there that shows that the more people sleep, the more their immune system is awakened so that they can fight off diseases, not just COVID. So good sleep will be good for you. The other thing is, while you're in isolation, try doing some breathing exercises. If you have the apps, there are several apps on your phone, your Apple Watches and Android watches that will make you do breathing exercise. So if you have COVID and you're in isolation, try doing some breathing exercises. Even if it's a minute long, a couple of times in the day, those will open up your lungs, and it's just a simple breathing in deeply, holding in the breath, and then slowly breathing out. And then the other thing you want to do is regular medium activity while you are in isolation. You cannot sit in one chair because you're isolated, so you sit in a chair and watch movies all day. You got to stand up, move around in your room where you are isolated, walk around every couple of hours, and stand. Sometimes just stand there for minutes just to make sure the blood flow is going on. You don't want to have blood stagnation, which can lead to strokes and stuff like that. So be active while you are in isolation. Don't exert yourself too much, but maybe a couple of push-ups a day, a couple of walks, jog even in your room, just to get your body on the active side. All right. And the other thing is that eat regularly. When you are in isolation or quarantine, you may not feel hungry because you are not working. So a little food you eat will sit in you when you're not hungry. But you got to force yourself to eat something. Eat regularly, at least breakfast, lunch, and dinner. And in between, if you can have a snack, that's good. So when you are in isolation, make sure the people who are in the house who are not in isolation are getting you the food. That's the time you got to eat for your body to use whatever nutrients it needs to build up your immune system or to improve on your immune system and fight off that disease. And then monitor your symptoms. This is very important. Monitor how you feel. Do you have fever? Do you think your heart is racing? Do you have pain? Do you have chest pain? All those are signs that will tell you whether or not you are fighting off the disease well, or if you are actually losing the fight. Are you struggling to catch your breath? Those things will need immediate assistance. So monitor how you feel. If you have access to a pulse oximeter, that's the time you have to bring it with you in your isolation, and check your oxygen levels as frequently as you can. If your oxygen saturation measurement goes anything below 90, you got to go to the emergency room as soon as possible. So you look for everything always higher than 90. Higher than 90 is where you want to be. The moment you drop below 90, even around 95, just keep an eye on it. If you go below 90, that means you must be in the emergency room as soon as possible, because at that point they can put you on a supplemental oxygen, and hopefully you won't have to go on a ventilator the sooner you find out. And moreover, there are certain treatments that could be given to you if they can catch you right at that point. And this especially for people with comorbid conditions, or people with other diseases such as diabetes, hypertension, or people with advanced age. You must have the pulse oximeter. It will help, so that if you see your oxygen levels dropping, you can immediately call your doctors, go to the emergency room, and let them give you supplemental oxygen. If you are younger, you probably wouldn't need it. When I had COVID, I didn't use my pulse oximeter, but I believe that because I had vaccines and I was boosted, mine was not going to be as serious as other people's. And of course, I'm not well advanced in age. So definitely, if you're especially not vaccinated, make sure you get that tool with you, because that will determine whether or not you should go and get yourself some supplemental oxygen, or even some monoclonal antibodies if you feel you are getting worse. So monitor your symptoms, monitor your blood pressure. If you are hypertensive, bring your blood pressure machine with you when you go hide in your isolation or in your quarantine area. Bring your blood pressure medications, your diabetes testing supplies, bring it with you wherever you are isolated. And if you don't have these, I'm going to link some of these products in my description below, so you can just purchase them and save them for the future. Avoid being afraid and anxious. And the way you do it, because just so you know, when you are in fear and you are in anxiety, when you're anxious, your immune system will be limited. Your immune system is going to be challenged if you are living on the edge. So you got to relax and not be anxious. And the way to do that is to still stay connected to people. You are isolated, all right, physically, but you can socially still be in touch by using video calls, FaceTime, WhatsApp video calls, and stuff like that, all the other apps that you have. Just stay connected to people and not be anxious. The other thing is occupy yourself with positive thoughts. Read nice books. If you have access to nice books, scriptures, as well as nice movies that you can have, those things will cheer you up. You got to have music too, nice music. Even though you are in isolation or quarantine, remember you are not as in isolation from people, because you have a phone, you have an iPad. Do the calls, do the video calls. Don't be shy of reaching out to people. I mean, some people want to hide their COVID positive status until they have been cured. It's fine, but if your isolation is leading to you getting mental health issues because you are so alone, just open up, reach out, and hear positive things from people. Talk to people that you usually would talk to, using video calls, using phone chats, using all the other messaging apps that you have. Beloved, I wish above all things that you prosper and be in health, even as your soul prospers.